Hey everybody, Chaz Wilson here, president and founder of Master Networks. I am super excited today because if you were at Connect, and even if you weren't, you're in for a treat. If you were at Connect, you met Gary Barnes, and I'm joined today with Gary Barnes, here with Gary Barnes International. Welcome, Gary, to our call.
Well, thank you, Chaz. It's an honor as always.
Yeah, thank you. So we met, Gary was at Connect, and we talked about this boot camp, this business boot camp you have in July. I'm going to be attending, and so what we wanted to do for the high Ds that are on the call, I want to let you know right away what's going on. It's a business boot camp in July in Denver, July 20th, 21st, and 22nd, and it is just is jam-packed, full of content. I'm excited to be there. So if you're in Master Networks, let's come hang out together in Denver at this business boot camp. Now we're going to take about 15 minutes to hear from Gary about what you can expect at this boot camp. There's so much business wisdom compacted in 3 days that I wanted him to sort of pull it apart for a little bit and share with us what's going to happen in those 3 days. So just the high level first, Gary, what can someone expect when they come to your business boot camp?
Well, and again, thank you, Chaz, for this opportunity. And this is my 34th boot camp that I produced. Wow. So they have evolved over the years. And really, we've heard terms like life-changing, business-changing. This program actually is. And, as a producer of events like you have experienced, there's a certain amount of credit that we can take and a certain amount that it's organic. It's something that happens with the members, the participants, the staff, everything that comes together to build this event. And when people come in, many times people don't know each other. On day 2, they're a community. On day 3, they're a family. I don't say that. They do. And people that come many times, now here's the caveat. If they will use and implement the information, many people will double or triple their business in 6 to 12 months.
Wow.
That is the real reality. And day 1 is about really getting our arms around what I believe 80% of creating a viable, sustainable business is psychological and emotional. And Chris Nansky is there where we do a board break. We capture the moment, but creating that vivid vision. What is it that you want in the future? And it's more than, just creating affirmations and saying, I want to be rich or whatever it is. It's really creating that picture of a whole life and being able to set it up so when you put the implementation of the tactics, the strategies, the tools together, it has a foundation. And that's what I call day 1 is a foundation day. Something to really set it up for a long-term, and if you want, multi-generational business. Day 2 and 3 are all of the tools, techniques that I have built or have created for myself for a very high production in any business that I've created 3 businesses to a very high level. This was an organic program. I did not plan to do these. This was not something I sat down and said, this is a business that I wanted to do. My clients asked me, and I kept saying I was running out of time and I had to do it 1, 2 more because there just wasn't enough hours in the day. But when people leave on Friday or Sunday night and show back up on Monday morning, we want them to be able to implement right then one idea that's going to make a dramatic difference in their business. So it goes by very fast. We use audio visual, we use interaction, we use I use all of the tools in this program to really get the highest level of what I call integration, absorption into the participants so it's meaningful. It's not a dog and pony show where every 10 minutes you're being sold something. That's not what this is all about. Right. It's about content driven.
So I love that. And so I'm going to ask this out of curiosity because I've never been to your event. So excited to be there. And for those watching at the end, Gary's going to share a special offer for our Master Networks family to be at his boot camp. So, I've been to conferences and seminars and boot camps and others that range in size from 50 people to 10,000 people. What can we expect size-wise? And then the second part of that is, and you kind of talked about it, but I'd love you to go a little deeper, is how much of this is me listening, taking notes, and how much is interaction between me and maybe somebody I'm sitting around or the speaker, et cetera. So maybe you can answer size and then how much interaction.
Size-wise, we're going to be around 175 to 250, somewhere in that range. We never know. Right now, currently, as we record this, we have 86 people already registered. And
Wow.
so we're 3 months out. Most people, as you know, don't want to register this soon. And so we have a number of flows where people are coming in from organizationally. So we'll probably be at 125 by the end of the month, something like that. We're waiting to see if we can get an extra room. We have it reserved, or we have first right of refusal, but we won't know for 2 weeks. And so if we don't get it, we're going to be capped out at 190. If we get it, we'll be able to do about 275. So, but what we've done is we've created the way we do the program where there's a high level of touch inside the room. And so part of the program, I would say a third, a third, and a third. A third is experiential. A third is lecture. And a third is actual interaction. So it really is a blending of all three. One of the things that I really, and you know, for the, in my world, the high Ds, you know, we have created this program for all personalities. And it was a little bit organic, but I knew how important that was too. And I teach the art of connection, using the language of the person that you're in front of. And when you're dealing with a larger audience, you have to create that environment so everyone feels like you're speaking to them.
I think it's amazing, by the way, that it's your 34th, I think you said, your 34th boot camp.
Yep.
And you already have 86 people registered for your 34th boot camp. That's really impressive. I know how hard it is to put on events and continue, and I know you get people to come back again and again and again and again, which tells me there's some positive things happening, some great content for people to, you know, come back. It's one thing to put on one event; it's another to keep putting it on over and over again.
Yes, you know, and they, you know, we do have usually about 40 or 45% of the attendees are what I call alumni. And so they come back. I've had people come back 15, 16 times.
Wow.
And so, because, you know, here's the value, and I shared this with you when we were in Dallas. The reason that people want to come back and need to come back actually is that when they come back, they're not the same. And they're going to hear things in a different way, and they're going to be able to implement on a different level. And I shared with you that I attended my coach's program 28 times in a row.
Wow.
And every time I look for the one thing. So, and we've designed the program to where whether you're a first timer or you've been someone that have been multiple times, you're still going to get a new implementable, that's not even, I don't know how to say that word. But
I say that word all the time, and I keep saying, I don't know if it's a word, but we just created it. So.
Well, any word that we know what it is a sound. So it really is about the practicality in my mind, something that's usable. There's a term out there called infotainment. I want it to be enjoyable. We have a lot of fun. There's a lot of interaction. But at the same time, I want it to be not just enjoyable, and I shared this at on Thursday night at your event. I want to transition from so what, it was a great program, so what, to it was a fantastic program, so that. What is that next level of implementation? Why does it matter to me, my family, my business, my community? And so that transition is all part of this program.
I love that language of implementation. And that's a big thing that speaks to me. Taking time out of the equation, going from idea to implementation quickly. And so that what I hear you saying is coming back from your event, it's get into implementation quick from what they're learning.
Well, the biggest asset that I believe any of us have is time. And I feel a huge responsibility when, you know, people are doing the energy and the money about coming to the event, but that time, they're never going to be able to get back. And so if I'm not providing a value for that investment of time, for an ROI of that time, I have stolen something from them. I have not just dishonored them or what, I've actually stolen something that is the most precious thing that we all have here on this earth. Yeah,
it's so valuable, and I love that. I think every good entrepreneur who's progressing and growing, you know, they're ones that take their wallet out and they put their credit card down and they invest in themselves. We're so quick to invest in some product or tool or system, and yet we don't pull out the credit card and say, I'm worth something. I'm going to invest in me and get in proximity with people who can help bring value to my life. So, you know, I know you go to workshops all the time, seminars, boot camps. We've talked about this at length. I do as well. I go to several a year. I never stop doing that. As I do that, I always find I've learned something. Like you said, sometimes it's just one thing. Sometimes it's one person I connect with, right?
Right. Well, and if I stop learning, I might as well quit. That's my attitude. I had somebody the other day that I was part of their program, and they go, Gary, we're a little bit intimidated to be, training you or whatever. And I said, no. I'm the student. I'm here with an open book. You give me that value. I'm here for that. Don't reverse the roles on me. And that's at your event. I'm there taking notes. I'm there looking for that. And when we look at connections, I'm looking for relationships. And one of the things that was so neat, in fact, this morning I got 3 or 4 more Facebook requests, to be friends. And it was all people that I've had conversations with.
Yeah.
And, that kind of connection is what it's all about to me, because it is a family, it is a community. And sometimes those words are not really understood, but it's well, and one of your speakers talked about this, and I talked about it on Thursday night. I am the subject, but I am not the message.
Yeah.
And it's not about us.
Right.
It's about this community. It's about one touching one to touch many. And when we do that in an organic way, that's why when people come to this event, there's so many different businesses represented. There's people from all across the country and out of country that come. And so their connections is expanded exponentially if they choose to get out of their comfort zone, put out their hand and say, hi, I want to know you. Not what you do, but I want to know you.
Yes. So much about that, right? Who are you? So I know you have a special offer for our Master Networks family. I want to get to that. I'm going to ask you another question, but
yep.
What's the offer for our Master Networks family? By the way, thank you for doing that.
Well, you're very welcome. I really believe in what you're doing, number one. I just felt so welcomed and so, embraced when I was with you guys. Plus, I know your philosophy now and getting to know you guys. So I wanted to give a $50 discount off of whatever the amount of the retail investment is on the website. So right now, what that would look like, the early bird special is going to be still available for about a week to 10 days.
Okay.
And that's $197, so it's going to be $147. You take $50 off that for one ticket, or $197 for 2. So for less than $100 a person, people can come attend for the entire 3 days. We do a 100-page action guide that every participant gets. There is people will walk away with a lot of stuff. And everything that we do is on purpose. There is a reason for what we do and invest back into the community. And so, but whatever that retail investment is on the website, take $50 off. And there's actually a link that you have now that will be a part of this, that they can go directly to the shopping cart, and that $50 discount will already be calculated there for them.
Love that. So if you're listening, you're watching, $50 off the price, the retail price, whatever it is at the time you click that link, $50 off. So come join me, be with me. Let's connect with the other folks that are going to be there learning and growing together. I'll be at the event and we'll connect together. So last thing, as you put an event like this together, what is it that you hope, right? Because I know we put Connect together and I walk away and going, here's what I hope our people get from this event. What is it that you hope for when someone walks into this event, and then as they walk out those doors 3 days later, what is it that you hope for the attendee?
Permission to succeed. And it may sound really strange, but I have found over the years that we have been told to be in a certain box, and that box is normally not to live up to our potential. One of the elements of the program is what I call creating and embracing your celebrity. The 3 elements that we talked about at Thursday night at your program: be seen, be safe, be relevant. And how to do that without an ego. It's about, we have a responsibility to be seen if we truly believe that we have a product or service that's going to benefit those in our community. If we're hiding, we're not benefiting them. So having that permission and having the ability to be able to disseminate and to really showcase what they have in a way that their perfect client is going to see them as their perfect solution And we turn the equation around. We don't chase clients. We don't chase prospects.
Right.
We showcase ourselves so that they see us and they actually come towards us. And for me, that's what's really beautiful about it, because most of us really hate prospecting. We hate going out, and close, press hard, 3 copies, all of the old scenarios.
Right.
And for me, it's really about, just being in that place to where the next logical step is, hey, Gary, let's do business. Or, hey, Gary, I have this need. Who do you know who? And then I can connect as a resource. So really, truly being able to, that master networker that we talked about just before the call, doing the triage, finding out where a person hurts, getting permission to solve, and then seeing if we are, or a referral is the perfect solution for them. And so there's a whole process around becoming that master networker as well.
Love it. So July 20th, 21st, 22nd in Denver, Colorado. Come join me. Gary Barnes was, so gracious to offer our Master Networks family $50 off. Make sure you, say thank you and get there and connect with others. Gary, any last thoughts before we sign off here?
The thing that I would say is there's been times in my life that I've wondered, okay, is the expenditure worth it? And the transition is, if it's an expenditure, maybe you're not ready for the event. But if you look at it as an investment where you're going to come, truly engage, participate, and implement, then you're going to get a return on that investment. It's a different thing. If it's a stretch, I understand that. There have been times that I have invested and didn't know why I was investing, and I was really stretching. Oh, and my wife was really wondering why I was doing what I was doing. But it was at that event that actually, well, in fact, one that I was thinking of, I met a person that actually took my first book to PBS. If I hadn't been there, I would not have had that connection, and actually now would not have been invited back this September to do 2 more shows. And
wow.
So, sometimes we plant seeds and we don't know why, but it's truly a step of faith, and I know what people get out of it. So I just encourage everybody to take that risk, take that step, make that investment, and we'll see you in July. I only do these twice a year.
Yeah, so don't miss it. Listen, you'll get there. Gary will be seen. He's safe and he's relevant, and that's why we want to be part of this connection and this opportunity at his boot camp. Thank you so much for your offer to our folks, our family, and we'll see you guys in Denver in July. Thanks, Gary.
Oh, you're welcome.